All right, so it happened. Jaylen Brown was traded. I don't love it, obviously. Not a huge fan of it, but I understand it in a weird way. Here's what I think happened. So Jaylen Brown has been in trade rumors the last 2 off seasons. After winning Eastern Conference Finals MVP, after winning a Finals MVP, he was still in trade rumors. Last offseason, it was Kevin Durant, and they were apparently looking at trying to bring in Kevin Durant to pair with Jason Tatum, and that just didn't fall through. And a lot of that, I think, was rumors. This offseason, obviously, with Giannis, that wasn't a rumor. That happened. They put that on the table. Nobody was disputing that was a trade offer that happened. And so what I think happened was this. As soon as that happened with Giannis, and it comes out that the Celtics offered Jaylen Brown and a couple of first-round picks for Giannis, and it didn't happen, they chose Miami's package, I think that Jaylen Brown probably requested a trade. I don't obviously know this for a fact, but I think that he probably requested a trade. And the problem with this is, the problem with what transpired with the Celtics and everything, is that his trade value kind of went down after you've dangled the carrot that you wanted to trade him. I don't think that there were a lot of teams that were bidding for his services. A lot of people said that New Orleans could have been in the market for him. But if you're New Orleans, you're getting a 29-year-old guy who obviously can compete, but who are you surrounding him with? Do you have him and Zion? Does that work? Same thing with Atlanta. It just doesn't make a lot of sense for those teams to go out and try to get a 29-year-old that, yes, has a couple more years left on his contracts, but you're still going to have to extend him, and there's a lot to go on with that. So I think that's what happened. I think that Jaylen Brown probably requested a trade. Obviously, I would have preferred it to not be a rival of the Celtics. I don't think that you could have gotten much for Jaylen Brown. I know that sounds crazy because you look at what Giannis got and the return that he got. I don't think there was going to be a ton of people bidding for Jaylen Brown's services. So you don't want to bid against yourself. I don't love it, obviously. I don't think that what you got in return is how good of a player Jaylen Brown is. But I think that everything that happened last year, this season, not having Jason Tatum, that he's going to him coming out and saying, like, this was one of my favorite years to play. And he was. He had all career highs this year. He averaged 28.7 points a game, 5.1 assists a game, and almost 7 rebounds a game. Like, this was his best season by far. But I don't know who else was going to be at the table. And if you say, well, then just Boston should have kept him, that gets real dicey real quick. If you have a star that doesn't want to be on the team, if you have a player that doesn't want to be there, that messes with a lot. The team chemistry, that could really mess up a franchise for the foreseeable future. So I understand not wanting to mess with that. And also to kind of do right by Jaylen. He spent 10 years in Boston. You brought back a championship and a finals MVP. Like, I guess try to do right by him. So, what does this mean for the Celtics? I don't know. Obviously, you don't get any better. If Jason Tatum can get back to where he was, Paul George is a decent player, but he's 35. Like, you're not relying on him to do a ton, and he's only played in 78 games in the last 2 years because of the suspension and injuries. Like, you're not banking on Paul George, but he had a really good series against Boston in round 1 this year to upset the Celtics. So I think the Celtics had to do this, and I don't know how many teams were lined up at the door wanting to make a deal for Jaylen Brown. And what other package could you have gotten? Like, there was nothing. I don't think there was anything that you could have gotten that would have really satisfied Celtics fans, myself included. Like, I don't know if there's anything besides getting Giannis that would have been sufficient. And so, look, is it a good trade for the Celtics? Probably not. Is it a trade that had to be done? I think so. All right, now I want to talk the Sixers because they got a good one, right? Jaylen Brown's going to immediately make an impact on this team. Now you have Tyrese Maxey, Jaylen Brown, Joel Embiid, and Edgecombe. That's a pretty good core four that you have. Now, of course, you got to have Giannis healthy. You got to figure out how the Tyrese Maxey and Jaylen Brown dynamic is going to work. So you got some things that you have to work on if you're the Sixers, but you got to be thinking, look, if we can get to a top 3 seed, I think that we can compete for a championship next year. And this is the thing for the Sixers. It's like, could you give the keys to Jaylen Brown and Tyrese Maxey? So I think that's going to be interesting to see kind of the dynamic with the 76ers, because it felt like Jaylen Brown wanted his own team, and when you're with the Sixers right now, it's not your team. Joel Embiid's been there for a long time, and then I think Tyrese Maxey is really he's really enamored himself with his fan base. I think a lot of these 76ers fans really like Tyrese Maxey, so you're going to a team that's not going to be your team. You're not going to have that. So we'll see how Jaylen Brown likes it. If he just wanted a different scenery, we'll see how that goes. I think that the 76ers could compete for the Eastern Conference next year. The Knicks. We'll see what the Celtics become. I like their Mitchell Robinson signing, but we'll see what else they become if they can add any more pieces here. So I think the East is wide open, and you're going to see a lot of crazy basketball in the East next year. But yeah, so quick thoughts on that trade. Jaylen Brown traded to the 76ers. Don't love it. Just felt like it had to happen, and it was going to happen regardless. You don't want to bid against yourself, and I don't know who was lining up for Jaylen Brown's services. I really don't. I don't know what you were going to get in return that you thought was a good enough player to get. And what picks? I mean, picks are what? They're kind of useless today. I mean, I'm be honest with you. If you get a top 5 pick, they're really good. If you don't, what's it worth to you? So, anyway, let me know. I'm sure that I know what the comment section would be like. A lot of Celtics bashing and not understanding. But let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.